So whoever you are, wherever you are, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Midtown, where such is the nature of life that all it asks, that all it wants is the opportunity to appear. You're that opportunity, so am I. So glad you're here. We are a place that honors people, everyone, because we understand and know who you are. We know that you are an expression of the divine. We know that your individual version of the divine is that which drives you. It's that which is the result of your choices, your life choices, your experiential choices, the things you decide to do on your everyday living and everyday life. It's not some special poof, and you're suddenly magically an expression of the divine. It's just the ordinary everydayness of life moving through you. And the more conscious and intentional we become about that, the more powerful we are in bringing that divine power, that divine knowing through us. So my talk today is all about our inner and outer journey. And love the way you laid the groundwork for that, Barbara. Thank you. Save me having to say some things I now don't have to say. So if you don't know what she said, go back and listen to it. It's there. All about being clear about the parameters of your journey, deciding where you're going and what's happening and who you are and how to be in the world. It's a wonderful idea. The journey is moving through life. The journey is from now until whatever's at the other end, whether that means a journey to the grave or a journey to the transfiguration, and you rise above all of that. I don't know many people that pull that off. But the idea that it's a journey from here to there, and we get to choose and we get to direct how that journey is going to be and where it's going to go and what it's going to do. We get to choose the quality of our lives. We get to choose the feeling of our lives by choosing what we believe about life, about who we are and where we are. And today we're talking about the two components of that, which are the inner journey and the outer journey. The inner life and the outer life. If I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times in this teaching and from many teachers in many places and many people, that the first law of life is the law of growth. So that's an element, whether we like it or not, that this journey is going to have. It's going to carry forward with ease, with freedom, and with grace. Now, we can choose to grow toward greater living, greater life, greater freedom, or we can choose to grow toward more limitation, lack, and just finally giving up. You know, they used to say the one thing that's absolutely certain is death and taxes. And I added to that, and then they throw dirt in your face. But that's sort of not true anymore because nobody, people have done with their remains and all sorts of things. But life just has its way of constantly pushing through us, demanding more and greater. And it's going to be more and greater of a sense of livingness or more and greater of a sense of doomsdayness. And if you notice lately in the news and on YouTube and all those Facebooks and all those other places, we're getting a lot more doomsday stuff. And there's a lot of doomsday happening to people. A lot of change going on in the world. And the thing about change is people are afraid of it because we're afraid we'll lose the good stuff and only have the bad stuff left. But the truth is, it's up to us. I love that song because that song says, what are we creating? What kind of world do we want to live in? How are we contributing? And I'll tell you what, all you got to do is change your mind about one thing, change it from a negative, limited thinking to a more positive, open, living life thinking to bring about change, to make that inner world be different. The last few days we've been hit with a whole lot of stuff of people shooting each other, of people losing their cool, for lack of a better word to say, and still, the shootings here in Atlanta, the shooting in Texas. Every time you turn the news on lately, it seems somebody's getting shot. Well, there was a great master teacher a long time ago that said, "Thou shalt not kill." But he took "thou shalt not kill" to another level and said, "Thou shalt not kill with your thoughts, with your anger, with your rage." See, if we can change it here at the inner level, reduce our resentments, reduce our anger, reduce our sense of victimhood, we'll change it out there as well. Yes. But it's got to start here. We got to find other ways to teach each other to handle those angers, those hurts, those feelings of victimhood. And as we change in here, we shift things out there. That's what this center is really, in many ways, is all about. Listen to what we say. We are a strong, open, globally connected community centered on the clarity of principle. Global connected. I don't know if you noticed on the screen earlier, but we had a greeting from Spain. We had a couple of greetings from Pennsylvania. We had a greeting from right here in the room even. That's the beauty of where we are now in life, that people can speak up and say hello from wherever they're hearing my voice or hearing this experience, sharing this experience. It's a wonderful thing, globally connected. We're part of a network of centers and churches and an organization that is worldwide. We are part of CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living. We are part of that center or that organization here in Atlanta, but it spreads throughout the world. One of the places where we're growing the fastest in CSL is Latin America, South America. Big centers down there that are exploding. We can't train ministers fast enough to fill them out, to keep them going, to keep it all out there. They're doing beautiful work online and otherwise. If you speak Spanish, tune into one. You can find them. We have a conference down there now called the Conference of the Americas that is just amazing. It's a rich, wonderful experience where people come from all over Latin America and get together to share these kinds of conversations and to have an opportunity to be with others of like mind from all around the world, all around that part of the world. We have centers in Europe. We have centers in Russia. We have centers in Ukraine. We have centers in Canada. I almost said Canada. No. We have centers in the Orient, in Hong Kong, and in India. We used to have a school in India. It may still be there, but the minister that affiliated with us, I'm not sure is still, I know he's not still alive. He was a wonderful person. So this is a worldwide connection. Now, there are many other groups. This is just one group. There are a lot of people teaching science of mind in New Thought groups that are not us, but they are us because we teach the same stuff. But organizationally, we're different, and they're all over the world as well. So if you start thinking of this organization or this teaching or this center as some small little group, depending on the number of people that show up, know that that's just the tiniest little part of what we're part of. We're part of a network of people who are having a different thought, a different idea, who are changing our innards in order to change the outward world as well. People who stand up, people who go to the legislature and committees and try to get things organized in a different way to be more supportive of people. Folks who march for peace, folks who march for the rights of women, the rights of non-gender specific folks, and all of those things. People are doing all this, many of whom are getting their inner work through Centers for Spiritual Living and other New Thought organizations. We're not here just to feel good about ourselves. We're here to feel good about ourselves and make a difference. The thing is, if you're feeling good about yourself, you can't help but make a difference. Have you ever been in the grocery store line behind somebody that wasn't feeling good about themselves? They made a difference. Have you ever been behind one where somebody really did feel good about themselves? You just can tell they love what they're doing. They find great joy in just where they work and how they get to show up. They make you feel better just by talking to them. Some of you do that already out there in the world. We make a difference wherever we are. So we go on to say we're globally connected, centered in the clarity of principle. By clarity of principle, I think we're talking about the idea of oneness. There is only one power, one light, one life, and everything that exists and is comes out of that and lives back into it. Comes out of it not in the sense of separating from it, but out of it in the sense of forming within it, is probably a better way to say it. We are formed within this one power. We are concentrated foci of energy and information, where our personalities get to monitor and to guide and direct how that energy of life flows through us. Think about that a minute. You're in charge of your life. I don't know about you, but there have been times in my life where I didn't want to be. Somebody please take over this thing and tell me what to do. Right? But you know, the answers are always right at hand. That great master teacher said it first, maybe not first, but he said it a long time ago. The kingdom of God is at hand. The God presence, the God power, the God goodness, whether you call it God or life or spirit or whatever, universe, it's at hand. It not only is as close as your hand, it is your hand. It is the mind with which you think, move, and have your being. Yeah. So we are part of that center. We are part of that larger teaching of the principles of oneness. You know, it sounds kind of, well, yeah, everybody knows about oneness is one power, But that is a radical departure from the way most people in the world think. The percentage is much higher now for oneness thinkers, but we are not the majority yet. If we were, the world would be a very different looking place. Because to really understand that, we get that there is no other. There is no one outside of us, not even people who belong to the other political party. Not even the Proud Boys. Now, that may be hard for some of us. No question about that. It takes some big loving to love on those people we see as dangerous, as hurtful, as harmful to us and to our way of life, if that's how you think and what you feel. But the truth is, everyone on the planet is just trying to find a way to express love the best they know. And sometimes that means they have to push everything aside except a certain little path where love can happen. When the truth is, love is showing up all over the place with all kinds of folk. And those of us who know that, who recognize the oneness, have to see past the behaviors of people into their hearts and into their truth and exercise the ancient namaste. The spirit in me recognizes the spirit in you. Because the more we do that, the more that spirit will show up in their lives as their lives. The more it will make a difference for them. If you don't ever do anything else for the world except walk around thinking and say namaste to every person you meet, do that. It will change the world. It's really important to get clear on who we are and the power that we have as individuals. We have the power not only to change our lives, but to change the world through how we think, inner journey, and what we do, outer journey. The important piece here is where you start. You start in here. You start with the inner journey. You start with changing your beliefs. Then if you're so led and so called to stand up for something, go do it in whatever areas of influence you have. You know, we have artists in here that produce beautiful paintings that touch people. We have cooks here that touch my heart on a regular basis when they bring food. You know, we have so many ways that we make a difference in people's lives. Find your gifts, the things you care about, and love them and love yourself from the inside, and they will find places and ways to be expressed on the outside. begin to grow on the outside. We're growing on the inside. The growth within our membership and our people here has been very powerful. But it's time now for the growth to begin to happen on the outside. So we're doing a reset. We're going back to once a month in person, and the other weeks is going to be online. Please join us, support us, and please help us take this to the next level, to churn and turn this internal growth that's happened into external expression and external growth as a center. It's really important and necessary.
Now we preach that we may practice that we may prove, and we prove that we may know. There is no other purpose. Preaching or teaching and practice are necessary in the present state of the evolution of our movement. And will be, of course, way beyond our day, and will be necessary while they are necessary. The ox cart was necessary until they got a steam engine. Steam engine was necessary until they made an airplane. It still is. The airplane will be necessary until people will find some conveyance that'll get them there without going, which I believe they will. Like the guy who said, don't tell me to go because I already left. But I don't think this is just a flight of fancy. It's something that the logic of the sequence of the evolution of human events must necessarily prove. If the universe is what we think it is, a simultaneous system of unity equally and evenly distributed everywhere, without division, without fragments, and without parts,